Now then, YouTube, what's going on, Lankofski, and welcome back to Lou and Lank on. This time, we are doing Ahsoka. I am once again joined by my fellow co-host, Mr. Lewbcon. Over to you.
Hello there.
Yes, so basically we are going to be breaking down the first two episodes. Yes, I know we are a bit late, but IRL, like, busy guys. We've got streaming, we've got shorts, we've got football videos. We've got other football videos. Now we've got this. We're just doing it all. This is where you get every single piece of information that you ever need on YouTube, right here or on Lewbcon's channel. But anyway,
I was just going to say, I will say that Dave Filoni will be helping us out because what I've heard, the next few episodes are like half an hour long, which is
okay. That's good. Yes. But we are in general Star Wars series themed. They start off very long. And then get shorter. And
it's a double header as well.
Sure, there's some sexual innuendos there, but we'll breeze past them. Mr. Lewbcon will be our tour guide for Ahsoka, for the series. I am not overly familiar with sort of the animated or expanded universe of Star Wars, and mine is pretty much a live action. Ahsoka is one of, if not my favourite Jedi, probably.
Quite ironic when you think of it.
Yeah, I know, but I've seen that many clips and stuff like that, and seen stories and read stories that is why she's like one of my favourite. She's up there with Starkiller. Technically not canon, but even though apparently, spoilers, Starkiller was referenced or credited in one of the episodes, unless Sam Witwood, yeah. But anyway, we shall get on with the breakdowns and the recaps of. We're going to be starting with episode 1. Mr. Lewbcon has got the name for that episode.
The Master and the Apprentice.
The Master and the Apprentice. Quick shout out. This the evil little woman. Yeah, I would. Anyway, let's get into it.
That's what I had that in my notes as well. Shin Hati is just... Anyway.
Right, go on. You can lead, Mr. Lewbcon.
I was just going to say, it kicks off. We're in this nice New Republic ship. It's all chill. You've got, like, the people just chilling out on the deck, or whatever it's called. And then you get this cruiser coming inbound with an old Jedi code. And foolishly, he decides, you know what, we'll just let them on board, which... Straight out the gate, you think, not the best decision, but anyway, they let them on board. They come out, and it's very reminiscent of Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan in the episode 1 when they board the Separatist flagship.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of that going around, but hey ho.
And then we see the first look at the two Force sensitives. He questions whether they are Jedi, and he's not wrong.
For me, they're not actual Siths, are they? Like, I know this isn't a guaranteed Sith thing, but for me, their lightsabers are more of a orange colour.
Yeah, they're more orange than crimson red.
Yeah.
You can have multiple people who are trained in the dark side who are Sith, but they're more pretenders to the throne because of Darth Vader's rule of 2, but that goes off on a completely different tangent that we won't be covering today.
Yeah, I didn't know whether they were more of sort of mercenaries for hire sort of thing, Jedi for hires.
We find out later on, but one of them is a Jedi who has somewhat been corrupted and fallen to the dark side. We don't really get much more than that, but yeah, so it's Bale and Skull and Shin Hati. And then I was just going to say, she's got the little Jedi Padawan braid.
That is on my notes. I am on that. That.
And then they go on absolute rampage and just kill everybody on the ship.
Yes. Is that before? Was that the Rogue One Vader-esque rampage through the ship?
Yeah, where they stop the blasters and they send them back.
I'm like. I saw that and I'm like, I know exactly where this is gonna go. I know everything's just gonna be a fucking cliche of the films, and Yeah.
references, but Dave Filoni loves that because he's so like.
Yeah, but you
leading
should
on
sew them in subtly. Like that
everything. I
scene
think that was
is.
quite subtle.
I don't. I think it was just so blatant in my face. I'd have looked less shocked if I had a load of cum on my face. But anyway, yes. When you get to a how can you put it a decrepit ruin or monument, a ruined monument.
A temple.
Yeah, temple, and then a wild Ahsoka appears at said ruins, and then everything just becomes a bit like Lara Croftish.
Yeah, Lara Croft. Yeah.
I've got it in my notes. Lara Croft type shit.
Did you not think it was very similar to like the Zephyr on the planet Zephyr in like Fallen Order, where he's doing all like the stupid like?
Yeah, a little bit. Because it wound me up how like not one word was said for ages, and she always had this stern glare on her face, and I was just like, okay, this is how we're going to do this. But
this is my little complaint moment. I like Rosario Dawson, but Ashley Ecclestein should have been, or Eckstein should have been Ahsoka. I can't get over that. I really can't.
If you're going down that same route, we're going off a tangent here. The Last of Us TV series. It should have had Troy Baker as Joel, and it should have had Ashley Johnson as Ellie. But it wouldn't have worked. Even though I can't stand the girl who played fucking Ellie because it was just vile and shit. Well, not vile and shit. She just didn't fit it for me. Pedro Pascal obviously killed it as Joel, but yeah. Anyway, we're off on a tangent. We'll get back to Star Wars right now.
So then she gets the map.
Oh, God. This is another one. Oh, look, we have this map, but the map is not complete, and we must... we must unlock the map to find the other part of the map. Where have I heard that before? Oh, God, I got so many bad memories from episode 7 and 8. I really did. It just hurt my fucking brain.
Does that mean that we're going to get blue milk soon?
Oh, God, yeah, fucking... What's a big bad guy that everyone's... Thrawn. You're going to find Grandmaster Thrawn, and then he's going to be like... Same thing. And then he's going to be sucking on some cow's milk tits, and then he's going to get a Jedi, he's going to get a fucking lightsaber, and for no reason, he's just going to throw it over his shoulder, because hey-ho, fuck Rian Johnson.
Anyway, she gets the Terry's chocolate orange map is the best way I can
No. Assassin's Creed. It's more of a Apple of Eden.
Yeah, the Apple of Eden.
Assassino!
Anyway, and then to tie it back in, you get the assassin droids, the HK assassin's droids.
Yeah.
Which is the first of about 50 references to Star Wars The Old Republic. Fantastic game if you never played it. You get the assassin droids from that. They kind of just do a little implosion. It's a big explosion for what they were.
Yeah. In my notes, I have Michael Bay escape. Some people will get that. Some people will get that.
Lincoln Park.
Ahsoka just like
so many tangents. Anyway, to get back on track, Ahsoka escapes was barely, even though it's not barely, but anyway. And then she gets back onto the ship, and we get another reference. We meet Professor Hyung Yang. And if you haven't seen the Clone Wars, he is the robot.
Oh, right, okay.
Essentially, in the Clone Wars, there's an arc where he basically has taught every Jedi how to build their first lightsaber.
Yeah, so that is referenced, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got his database full of like thousands of years of Jedi, and he like helped Yoda build his, and that it goes off on like that whole thing. But a fun fact, I'm not sure if it is there, but in the Clone Wars cartoon, he is voiced by David Tennant.
Really?
Yeah.
I wondered why I was seeing pictures of David Tennant in certain things.
Whatever you do in your spare time, Mr. Lankofski, is up to you.
I have got a man crush on David Tennant. If he can get Billy Piper to call him David Tennant, I will do anything for him.
I love that arc of the Clone Wars though, where they go to Ilum with all the Padawans. But anyway.
Yeah, I thought that were quite cool how we were talking about being or like teaching the Jedis or the younglings how to build their lightsabers. And again, that is something that we will probably cross later on in. Is it this episode or the second episode?
No, they just merge into one for
Yeah,
me because I've just watched them back to back just now. So. Anyway, and then so yeah, we get another reference, and then we get another one. The first member of Ghost Squadron, Hera Syndulla.
Which one was she?
She's the green lady, the Twilight.
Oh yeah.
The not Twilight, Ryloth, the Twilight. Is it Twilight? I'm pretty sure she's the Twilight. Anyway, she's played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who again.
Is she Bird from 50 Shades?
No, that's I can't remember her name, but it's not her. She's married to Ewan McGregor.
Really?
Yeah, she's married to Ewan McGregor. I can't remember the person you're on about, but it's not her. I can promise you. Dakota Johnson.
No, yeah, but is she married to Ewan McGregor?
Yeah.
She were in 10 Cloverfield Lane and she was sick. That was a sick film.
Oh, that's where I know her from. She's
from
Hilton versus the World.
Oh no! You just killed it.
Shit movie, but
yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane. If you're gonna watch out, that's why. I knew I'd seen her. I knew I'd seen her before. Anywho. Cool.
Anyway, she when they're boarding the ship to talk to Hera, they call them Fulcrum. They go by the codename Fulcrum, which is another reference to Rebels, where they go by Ahsoka is first introduced as Fulcrum, as this basically in the show they have this hidden contact who has all the information, and they're just known as Fulcrum. And then a season later, you find out it's Ahsoka. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Filling into the backstory. So they find out about all the shenanigans on the Republic ship, about these two bad guys.
Yeah, I don't know whether is it that point where she asks the droid to analyze the footage
yes.
Analyze the lightsabers to see if he could find out in his database for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mentioned earlier. And then it goes back to that planet, whatever it's called. Yeah, and I'm sure there's a reference. Is that artwork?
There is the artwork. And
what is that from?
So essentially in Rebels,
is it Rebels? Yeah.
Most of the episodes take place on Lothal, which is Ezra Bridger's home planet, and where they basically start. And basically, Sabine, who we will talk about in a bit, she's an artist, and when they defeat the Empire, she does a nice mural of the Ghost Squad they're called, because they're the start of the rebellion, a bit like Andor. And that's the mural she paints, and you see the nice mural.
Yeah, I recognised the characters on it as soon as I saw it, but I couldn't place where it was from. Obviously, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, my knowledge on the animated series is highly low.
It's fine. Anyway, and then we see the Lothal in live action. It looks amazing. It's fun to see it in live action, bringing it to life, And we see the mayor of Lothal, and there's a character from Rebels. He's still a bumbling idiot. And a fun little reference is the senator. I think he's called Jai Kel. Was one of the people who Ezra is with when he... Basically, in one of the episodes, he infiltrates the Imperial Academy. And one of the people he befriends and helps him escape when they discover he's a Jedi in the Imperial Academy is the senator guy. So that's another fun little reference.
Is that the grey-haired guy?
No, the grey-haired guy's the mayor.
The mayor.
The senator is the black guy who
mayor
pushes in front of. To, speak
yeah. The mayor in they were in Lost and they were a sick bad guy. Another tangent. I'm just going off.
That's fine. We see Sabine. She's still a badass, as in Rebels.
Is she the younger lass with multicoloured hair?
Bright hair, yeah. She's the art. She's known as basically the artist. You can tell that because her helmet's got all the paintings, and obviously her bright hair does the cool swoop bike stuff where she skids underneath.
Yep. And then she goes back to that big tower thing over. What was it? What did they call it? They called it a certain name. It was a lookout or some.
Like a communication tower.
Really. Yeah, I think it was a communications tower thing. And she goes into her little room or whatever you want to call it. She's a weird ass fucking cat looking thing, but Star Wars.
Cat.
Yeah.
It's a low-file cat.
Okay, what he said, and then I was quite shocked. Well, because I haven't seen any of it. There's all the Mandalorian things under a desk, just covered up and stuff like that.
Yeah, because she's a Mandalorian.
I found that out later on.
She is a Mandalorian. Fun fact: she is Sabine Wren, so she's part of Clan Wren, who are part of House Vizsla, and House Vizsla are otherwise known as Death Watch, who were exiled to the moon of Concordia, who later became the Watch, and they are who the Mandalorian seeks out. They're basically, the what's she called? The Forger and all of them from Mandalorian.
Oh yeah.
They're Death Watch. Basically, they're a bunch of radical. Yeah, the armor. They're basically a bunch of like radicals who go by the old way, and her clan, her house is that.
Okay, interesting.
Another fun reference there for you.
Yep, and then I don't know whether I'm jumping a bit too far ahead. She bumps into Ahsoka on the ship, and then we have like a awkward X conversation where people say things and nothing gets said at all, and everything feels very awkward, and everyone's just like, okay.
But they do tell her that Ezra and Thrawn survive, possibly.
Yeah.
Which, at this point, we presume they're both dead, because they get dragged off by the Purrgil at the end of Rebels.
What's a Purrgil?
They are giant whales that you see in The Mandalorian.
Is that the whole space whale thing that everyone would like wanked off over, and then it got like 1 second of airtime?
They basically can use like light speed, and they're like one of the first like natural animals to be able to use it. But yeah, they basically drag Thrawn and Ezra off into like the unknown part of space. And, they're just presumed dead from that point, but obviously they're not, because this map says otherwise.
So Thrawn's not dead, is he? But is Ezra?
We don't know at this point.
Well, he obviously ain't, because we've seen him in trailers. Spoilers. So is Ezra? Is there any more backstory on that, or is this whole Ahsoka series building on that backstory?
Basically, at the end of Rebels, they have a fight with Thrawn, and it's kind of like they trick Thrawn, but he's actually like double bluffed them and called their bluff. But then out of nowhere, Ezra has basically can communicate through the Force with the Purrgil, and to stop Thrawn from destroying the entire planet, they essentially drag his Imperial class Star Destroyer is called the Chimera, and they basically drag the Chimera into like this like vortex and just disappear. And Ezra has to go with it to stop Thrawn from escaping. He basically sacrifices himself. So them two are essentially just dragged off into nowhere, and it just kind of ends. And it's like he sacrificed himself to save the day.
Okay, interesting. Lou has told me several thousand times to watch the animated series, but there's like so many series, and I'm a busy man, and I've got a child, a girlfriend. I can't be a nerd that much anymore. This is my only chance to be a nerd once a week or twice a week. Moving on.
Can I just say the little reference we have, because we have Shin Hati and she's like chilling, and it's like a Darth Maul type of situation where she's looking over with the probe droid, and that's another callback to episode 1, was the probe droid when he's on Tatooine overlooking Anakin. She's overlooking Sabine.
Yeah. I got that one as well. And then I think we have the conversation where we find out who is it Balin Skull? Is that the bad guy's name? We find out who he is, and that he
survived Order 66.
Yeah, survived Order 66, and is were a youngling? Did he finish his training?
No, I think he was a Jedi Knight, and then he during the Clone Wars, and then obviously he disappeared, and stuff has happened in the time, obviously. Don't know who Shin Hati is though.
No,
that is a question mark.
Yeah. Excuse me. And then Ahsoka meets. Well, I think this is like jumping in between the scenes, but when Ahsoka and what's the other lass called? Multicolored Sabine are having their little chat. Ahsoka gives her the Apple of Eden, the map, and says, you can crack this, blah de blah. And then she says that she wants to go to her lookout to like chill out and get a better understanding of it. And Ahsoka says no, because that's a bad idea. And obviously Ahsoka walks off, and then by the time she gets back, Sabine's gone, and then she goes back to a hideout, and then fully enough, Ahsoka warned her and bad things happen. And yes, the map gets taken. No, actually, yeah, I skipped a little bit there, didn't I?
You missed out the part where it goes back to the temple, and we find out who Morgan is, the prisoner who they freed, and we find out that she's actually a Night Sister from Dathomir.
That's the one. Where have we got?
And she
Evil Witch Lady, that's what I've got in here now.
Yeah, we basically find out that she survived the genocide, the massacre of the Night Sisters, which is another Clone Wars reference, where basically Grievous and the Separatists invade Dathomir, which is this planet where Darth Maul's from, and they basically... They're witches and use witchcraft, and there's this woman called Mother Towson who is like in charge of the witches, and she's like as powerful as Palpatine. So he sends the Count Dooku's pissed off with them, so he sends Grievous in, and they basically massacred them all. And this Morgan clearly survived the massacre.
And she's the one that's more powerful than Palpatine.
No, that's Mother Towson. She's
right,
dead
okay.
now. She got murdered, but one of her.
Was it in her sleep?
No, it wasn't actually.
I'll be that
Grievous
powerful.
very much just stabbed her.
Okay. So basically, right, this is foreshadowing. So someone got stabbed and died in Star Wars. So that happens then. That actually happens.
Anyway, Sabine.
We'll get to that.
Sabine opens the Apple of Eden. She gets ambushed again by the droids, the assassin droids, the HK droids, and then she killed one of them. We'll get back to that. And then the other one runs away, and we see Shin Hati waiting for her, and then we see finally a lightsaber fight.
Actually, a very good lightsaber fight for me, because at that point I was sort of like tense, because I thought, oh, she's not going to die. Oh well, neither of them are going to die. So my thought was Ahsoka would do the whole like Qui-Gon fighting Darth Maul sort of thing in episode 1.
On the ship.
Yeah, where he just jumps on the ship. Basically, she gets told that she might be in trouble. Sabine might be in trouble, so she flies over to her place, her hideout, and just as she gets there, Sabine gets stabbed, and Star Wars things happen. She loses a fight. The bad girl just walks off, and no one thinks, "Hey, let's go chase her."
She's my favourite character so far, though.
Yeah,
Shin Hati.
Yeah.
She's by far the coolest character.
Absolutely, I'm so with that.
And the actress as well just plays it perfectly. She's so like creepy and intimidating, but also like mysterious and cool. It's just.
I think she's Ukrainian. I'm sure I fucking googled it over there.
Anyway.
But yes, Sabine gets stabbed. Ahsoka turns up in the nick, sort of in the nick of time, and Shin Hati walks off, meanders off, and Ahsoka doesn't think, yes, I will go after bad guy. Yeah, I will go after bad guy who has just stabbed my friend. No, she just like does the fucking stupid things. It winds me up so much. I've got where is that? She might not be dead. #quotes Reaver. Anyway, we'll get to that.
And then it cuts to the credits.
Yep.
And that was episode 1. It was.
Oh, that was something as well. That was something. Right on the end, it says, "For our friend Ray." Have you got any context on that?
That's for Ray Stevenson.
Ah, okay. Now I'm with you.
He plays the name Balin. He plays Balin Skull. The actor who played him sadly died.
Never.
Yeah, I believe he was in Blade Runner. Was it Blade Runner? Or am I thinking of something wrong? No, he wasn't Blade Runner, was it? It was something else. What was he in?
Sorry, I'm just looking this up right now.
He was in another movie, but yeah, he died not long ago actually. After they finished filming it, which is yeah.
Oh,
a bit
that's
sad.
gutty, man. I actually liked him.
Yeah, he was a good actor. He wasn't even that old.
I can't do maths, so if someone just tells 58. Who's 58? You were Northern Irish. Don't know how to take that. Oh, what a lad. What a lad. That's gutting. As if. To be honest, so far you've not seen a whole lot of him, but I did enjoy him as a his role. I don't obviously. So did he died after?
Yeah, he died like 2 months ago. 3 months ago now.
First episode of Ahsoka released just over 3 months. 3 months after his death. Oh, that's.
Yeah, it's so it was a nice touch to obviously. Yeah.
Oh, that's gutting. Okay, interesting.
So it'll be interesting to see. I hope they've accounted for this beforehand. Well, obviously can't account for it, but I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. How's his exit going to be handled, sort of thing?
Exactly.
That's a polite way to do it.
Yeah, it's a sad situation, but yeah, it was a good episode. I enjoyed episode 1. I thought it was everything I expected and more. I thought it was a really good episode. Good way to kick it off.
I thought not a lot happened. Everything was just like tied to another. Everything that was just tied to another episode of either a film or a reference to the animated series. It did Star Wars things. That's all I'll say for me.
It was doing the fan service, getting out of the way. I think. Just like
yeah, but like I don't mind. I don't mind one or maybe 2 references per an episode. Even 2 is a bit high.
Like it's a bit hard when it's
7,000 different ones.
No, but the entire show is based off Rebels. Like it is Ghost Squadron. Like
yeah, but like the fucking map and the fucking episode 8 and 7, just like fuck off. Give me something new. Stop recycling A New Hope.
No, we got something new with the sequels, and I wish we hadn't got something new, quite frankly. But anyway,
yeah, we don't talk about them.
Do you want to go into episode 2?
Yeah, swiftly moving on from that. Episode 2. My first note for this is she's not dead. No one dies anymore. Qui-Gon Jinn rips his hair out.
Mine was she lives. The boy lives. Sabine survives the shot through the heart.
Yeah. So pretty much like ever since episode 1. Oh, is there anyone else who actually gets stabbed and dies?
Stabbed and dies more.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets cut in half.
Yeah. So basically, since episode 1, no, everyone's survived a lightsaber wound, apart from like one of the most powerful
Count Dooku
Jedi's. If he gets his head chopped off, if he survives that, I will applaud him for that.
Leia survives space.
Oh God, why? But yeah, basically, Star Wars does Star Wars. Reva don't die after 6 fucking stabbings from Darth Vader. Sabine don't die after being stabbed. You just get a burn mark these days. It's all part of it. It's just like a gunshot wound or some shit like that. So
the rite of passage.
Yeah. It's yet another thing that's triggered me. As we'll swiftly move on to you, Mr. Lewbcon.
So we catch up with the bad guys, Shin Hati and Balin, and they've taken the Apple of Eden map to the ruins because they're trying to find the path to Satos. And I'm not quite sure if Satos is the planet or the galaxy just over.
I believe it's a galaxy. Because we're saying that's our galaxy.
And then they reference like this ancient alien race that came from another galaxy, and my first thought was the Zephyr, but you know,
I thought it was the monument of the ruins where the war. I thought that whole sequence was very like, you know, when Grogu was meditating on top of a mountain, and Din Djarin was trying to protect him and stuff like that. I thought it were very. For me, that's what that were like, and I was just like, oh God, here we go, yeah, another reference. But I mean, it were pretty cool how it all come about. And then Balin Skull did like a forced past sort of sequence where it looked into past and what were it? I can't remember. It were finding something out, and it were very weird, but a sort of a cool thing that I liked about it. I don't know whether that's just a power that's been known to him, or if that's a general, Jedi teaching. But I thought it were pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then, where are we?
Ahsoka goes back to where Sabine lost the fight, her little house, and they find the aforementioned assassin droid that that Sabine defeated, and it turns out she didn't defeat it that well because it is waiting in a trap. Ahsoka springs the trap and kills it for good this time.
Well, yeah, technically, and then takes her head back to Sabine because even though it's dead, you can still get memories from its dead head, and
from the memory bank.
Yeah, but you can't make sure it heats up too much because hey, you have to get the memories just in the nick of time before everything explodes. Fuck me, man, this is so cringy, this series already. Looking back on it, like I love it so much, but at the same time I'm like, everything has to be done so suspensefully, and it's like, ooh, will they jump out of the way of a train? Yes, by 1 millimeter. It's just like, stop. Can we just stop?
She was clearly using the Linus Tech Tips water cooling method.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Do you understand the reference?
The reference. I like Linus, but
we're getting sued.
I like Linus. I like you. If you can learn from whatever it was, then it is. Yeah. Again, another tangent we're going off on.
I know this. We like the references over here, unfortunately. You might join that, you might not, but it's by the by. Anyway, they get the memory banks. They do the whole like last minute situation for suspense, even though it was clearly obvious that if that went wrong, then they were basically shit out of luck.
Yeah, about what it game over. Let's go home and let's just raid each other's there or whatever.
They find out that the assassin droid originally came from Corellia, from the shipyards, which fun reference. That's where Han Solo and Kira are from. Shout out to Solo. Underrated movie.
Never watched it. Hated every second.
I actually I never watched it. Hated every second of it.
That sums up my experience with like.
I actually think it's I actually enjoyed it very much. But anyway,
you enjoyed Rogue One.
I did enjoy Rogue One.
There was one good scene in Rogue One, and it became right at the end.
I liked. I forgot the planet now. The one that goes, the big city, Jeddah. I like the Jeddah scene.
Isn't that in Saudi?
No. I'm not getting onto this. I'm not getting onto this. I understand. Swear.
Yes. Anyway, moving on swiftly. My next note is that I've got a rousing robot speech. What's a droid that flies with Ahsoka?
Young.
Yeah, it gives a very rousing speech to the troops, and it's just so cringy. Can't get over the cringe stuff. I like reading back on it. I'm just like, I didn't feel it at the time, but now I feel very cringe-worthy. Just everything that I'm reading back is so bad.
We get to the shit yards on Corellia, and we find out that they're basically decommissioning old Imperial tech.
This whole bit, by the way, just awfully interrupting. This whole next sequence, I think it's fucking amazing. I think it's great. The next sequence is coming up.
I don't mind it, but it very much reminds me of the Mandalorian episode where they go with Doc Brown.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from there.
So anyway, we see all the droids, and they're like looking into it, and they're basically like, these droids came from here, and the guy's like, no, they didn't. And they're like, yes, he did. And they're like, no, we did not.
And then all of a sudden, a gun gets pulled, and
you just hear the cry for the Empire.
Yeah, that's one ex-Empire, because they're all like ex-Empire. Well, they're all ex-Empire workers out there, and being how can I put it?
Brainwashed.
Yeah, it's in the Mandalorian series with a like evil biscuit lady sort of thing. I can't remember how I put it. rehabilitated. That's the one. They're all being rehabilitated, and then like everyone's like sort of slyly looking at each other, and then someone pulls a gun and says for the Empire. So everyone's already like literally no one gives a fuck about the New Republic. It's all about the Empire still. And Ahsoka goes off and does Ahsoka things.
Because they find out that they've like salvaged this hyperdrive core, but it's like too big for anything the New Republic has ordered. So they and then the ship carrying said hyperdrive attempts to escape, and then Ahsoka just does one and just jumps out the window. Yeah,
literally jumps out a window, does a superhero landing, and starts sprinting. Oh no, she don't. Does she sprint after it?
No, she starts running after it, and then she gets stopped by
the Inquisitor. That's who Thingy was credited
Marek.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. He was actually credited as an additional voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't specify who it was. It could have been him. We don't know yet.
Okay, interesting.
But anyway, there's this Inquisitor, Marek. Fun to see the Inquisitors back again.
Because I wondered who he were at first, and when I saw his lightsaber, I'm like, okay, that's solved that mystery.
And then Hera gets in the Ghost, another reference. Nice to see her back in the Ghost. Ghost is the ship they fly in Rebels, and she chases. Glad you elaborated on that. She flies after the hyperdrive, like Ahsoka fights this Inquisitor, and then it's kind of just a back and forth. Then we see Chopper as well. Love Chopper. Droid is so funny. He makes a joke about essentially just committing like war crimes or just shooting the ship down into like the civilian
area.
He's voiced by Dave Filoni.
Oh really?
That's
cool. Yeah, I always say that's a cool little Easter egg thing.
And then they're looking to go to Peridia. And then
because Chopper is it?
Yeah.
The droid. Chopper manages to get a tracker on the ship that is carrying like the new like big massive huge hyperdrive. So they can trap that to wherever it goes. Ahsoka fights the Inquisitor, but the Inquisitor sort of runs off towards the end and gets saved by the what's the name? Yep. And pretty much, I think after that you get a little look at the evil witch lady, and
did you not find the holograms were interesting? How they were like sand. I don't like sand.
Yeah, like as like the sort of evaporated, like because they had it on the Sabine were talking to the was she a general? The green lady.
It's a General Harrison.
Yeah, that was just like a normal hologram, wasn't it? Yeah. And then when they were talking to Balin's skull, their holograms, when they evaporated or when they sort of dissipated, it were like a sand movement thing. It wasn't like a hologram shutting down, which was interesting. Yeah, I did notice that.
And then she made another Another Old Republic reference was the eye of Sion.
Yeah, I noticed that one as well. And then she wanders around the bridge of her ship, and you get a stare and a turn round, and then it cuts to black or cuts to the credits. Don't know whether I can say about what I've just said, but hey ho.
Yeah, the second episode was a bit disjointed, I guess. Nothing really happened. Like the first one set loads of stuff up. Nothing really happened in the second one for me.
Second one was sort of for me more like not really backtracking. Certain bits were backtracking, but also just like maybe I won't even say it was filler. It was just all a bit bland, a bit. I enjoyed the fight with Ahsoka and the Inquisitors. I enjoyed all the shipyard scene.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, and the shenanigans and stuff like that. But a lot of the other stuff just pissed me off, especially with let's get the memories from the droid at the last second, and she lived even though she was stabbed by a lightsaber, which I won't get over because that's just what it is.
Tell. My issue is it's too early to kill off anyone significant, so it's like...
No, because that's why you do it, because then everyone's like, oh shit, this is actually happening.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But yeah, it was... I'd give the first one like an 8 or a 9, honestly, and then the second one was like a 7 for me. But,
really? Wow, your fucking ratings are skewed.
These. I really
first one, I'm going 7. Second one, 5.5, if that.
So yeah, do you want to have a little speculation and then we can?
I can't. To be honest, I can't really speculate. Bad guys do bad things. Good guys intervene at last second, and everyone hurrah, and we all dance around with Ewoks.
Yeah, pretty much Star Wars in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be interesting if we see Zeb, the big alien from Mandalorian that you see in the canteen.
Zeb.
Yeah, I can't remember his full name, but he's the big fuck off alien thing that you see in Mandalorian. Basically, you have Ghost Squadron, so you have Hera Syndulla, who's the Green Lady. You've got Sabine Wren. You've got Ezra Bridger.
Yeah.
You've got Zeb, and then you've got Kanan. For those of you who don't know, like Lank, basically, Kanan is he was originally called Caleb June, and he was a Jedi Padawan in the Order 66. His master was killed in one of the episodes, and he went off into exile. But then he catches up with Ghost Squadron, and he changes his name to Kanan Jarrus from Caleb June, and he teaches Ezra basically to become a Jedi.
Oh, okay, interesting.
But he dies saving the others in one of the episodes. Spoilers. And you at the very end of Rebels, because he's on the mural, but at the very end of Rebels, you find out that Hera and Kanan have a kid. Basically, she's pregnant.
Interesting.
Because there was a lot of like tension between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be interesting to see if Hondo comes to live action. He is a pirate from the Clone Wars and Rebels. He's really funny, and I mean generally really funny. I love Hondo. It's basically this pirate who like is a coward, but he's like backstabs everyone to make money. But then as soon as it goes wrong, he like cries for their help, and they kind of like adopt him as like a sad little puppy. And genuinely, like, I think Johnny Depp would be perfect to play Hondo Anaka. It won't happen because Disney don't like Johnny Depp, but and he doesn't like them, understandably. That would be fantastic. Same as Agent Callis. He's another member who he went from with the title of Fulcrum, and he was like a double agent in Rebels. Another character. These references are just flying over.
I have got fuck all idea. Hondo? What you just said?
Hondo Anaka.
That name rings a bell, but I don't know why.
He's in Rebels and Clone Wars.
Has he not been out in else? In no else? Yeah. I've heard his name.
It's really funny. Be interested to see if the Chimera comes in. It's Thrawn's ship, and be interested to see how much they mimic Heir to the Empire. Fantastic book. I've read the Thrawn series. It's where Thrawn was first introduced. It's now part of Legends because it was released between the sequels and the originals. It doesn't really fit into that world anymore, but it's where Thrawn's first introduced, and he's basically the last Grand Admiral of the old Empire in the New Republic era. Yeah. Like you said, Sam Witwer in the credits. Interesting to see if Starkiller makes an appearance.
Please don't. If he makes an appearance and he doesn't pull a fucking Star Destroyer down out of orbit and murder everyone, I will rip my eyeballs out.
It's interesting though, because in Rebels and Clone Wars, Sam Witwer voiced Palpatine and he voiced Darth Maul.
Yeah, I would say voiced Maul, didn't he?
Yeah, but Maul's already dead at this point. So
yeah.
Out the window. So yeah, but I said this when I've just played through Force Unleashed. So if you want to check that out, nice plug there. But yeah, I couldn't. My issue with seeing Starkiller in is, one, you have to change his backstory because it doesn't fit into canon. 2, you have to severely like nerf his powers.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And it ruins the character.
Yeah, you either have to nerf his power, or you have to, pretty much what you said. You have to rewrite everything, and the games are just a standalone game. I know they're not really canon now, but everyone loves pretty much everyone loves that character. And I think if you saw it in any other way, shape, or form, it'd be cool to see live action, but at the same time, it'd also be arse because it wouldn't be anywhere near as powerful, and it'd just ruin the character.
My only other thing was on the cosmic force and the living force and how that could possibly play into this, because I know Rebels touched on it a lot, and I mean a lot. Basically, you have the thing called Loth wolves, and they're like wolves that are native to the planet of Lothal, and they basically can jump what's it called? Go through hyperspace, but in very short bursts across the planet, and they're they're a big part of Rebels. So it was interesting to see if they come into play at some point. Obviously, I mentioned the Purgle earlier with their space travel, but you've also got the Bendu. Basically, in one of the Rebels episodes, a few of the Rebels episodes, they come into contact, and so does Thrawn with this entity known as the Bendu, and he is the middle between the dark side and the light side, and he is this this being that is not really of this world, and he basically teaches Ezra and stuff, but then when Thrawn attacks him, he basically disappears and becomes a force ghost, but he's in between the forces. It's really interesting and just a weird concept. And then also on the mural you see, and they also referenced it, was another race. You have the Mortis gods, and basically they are another cosmic entity that is outside the living force, and they are basically the dark, the light, in the middle. You have the father, who is the middle. You have the son, who is the dark side, and you have the daughter, who is the light side. And Anakin in the Clone Wars and Obi-Wan and Ahsoka head there, and they're called the Mortis gods, and they head to Mortis, which is in another dimension, and they basically say Anakin is the chosen one, and they want him to take over the father's role as the balance, but he says he can't do that. And then they show him into the future of what he will become, and that's where the nightmares for Anakin start. But it'll be interesting to see if they wove that into it, because the cosmic force is very much a thing Dave Filoni likes to touch on, and it'll be interesting to see where that goes. But yeah, that's my random thoughts on the issue.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, we got 8 episodes, so we got 6. Is it 8? Yeah. I'm assuming they are gonna deplete more in time running, and then maybe the last one will be a bit more.
I heard episode 5 is going to be quite big, and Dave Filoni is directing that personally, so I think that might be one to look out for, especially.
Okay, interesting. So, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's our recap of Ahsoka episode 1 and 2. Lou liked it. I hated the references and the not dying after being stabbed by a lightsaber, which is just part of canon in Star Wars now. So
you you hate the references, but would you hate if they brought in more stuff from Legends in the EU? For example, if they brought in the Yu Zhongbong?
I don't mind references. I just don't I want to see some original. I know it's all one universe, and you've got to intertwine it to an extent, but at the same time, let's just do something original. We had sequels which were the originals remade, and it fucking ruined everything, and everyone was just hyped because it was nostalgia. And I don't want the Ahsoka series especially being ruined just by hey, reference here, hey, reference there. 1, maybe 2 an episode. But that's just me, how I look at films, entertainment in general. Some references I enjoy, but not hey, here's 4x4 full, let's just shove it down your throat sort of thing.
I loved it. I'd love if they brought more from the Legends and EU into canon, however that is. If they brought Cal Kestis to live action.
Yes, that
bring Cameron to live action.
But now you could go with the whole Cal Kestis thing. You could go, he's pretty much in the same boat as Starkiller.
Not to a certain extent, but
Not to a certain extent, but it's around that. It's so powerful, and like the way that it channels both dark and light. I know that like Mace Windu balances both the light and dark side, but I think Cal is a completely different entity or power usage than.
He's not the same level, but he does the same things.
I won't even say he does the same things. I think he's done in a totally different way, but that's just my understanding of it.
I think it's very difficult to bring stuff like from EU and Legends into canon because some of it just doesn't fit. Like the Yu Zhong, for example, that in the Legends, Luke Skywalker, when he becomes a Grandmaster, he fights this alien race from another galaxy called the Yu Zhong, and they're basically unbeatable. Like they can't beat them with lightsabers. They don't work. The Force doesn't work. And I won't spoil how he defeats them, but like they are just unstoppable. And like something like that just can't really exist in canon, or as super interesting as it is. So it's finding that balance.
Yeah.
And it's impossible to do in 8 episodes.
No, that's the whole thing. That's why I never understood why can't we just have 12. 15's a bit of a push. 12, I feel like it's a good.
Especially if you're going with filler.
Yeah, because like, I know this is getting super long-winded now, but like the whole Mandalorian thing, especially Kenobi, certain episodes in Mando and Kenobi were 125,000% just filler. And at that point, it's like, why? Why are we doing this? Let's just, stop, because there's so much we could touch on and not have filler, but I don't know. Disney do Disney.
I'm looking forward to episode 3 though. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Without making it any more long-winded than it needs to be.
When is it out? Is Tuesday night, Wednesday morning for us, I believe. It's currently Sunday, so yes, like I said, we are behind, but busy life schedules and stuff. So I hope you did enjoy this breakdown and recap of episode 1 and 2, and Lou's thoughts and my one thought on what's going to happen in the rest of the series. Make sure to stay tuned or subscribe and all that stuff if you want to see the future episodes, because they will be coming out weekly. One of us may not be here, and one of us might have to do it by ourselves. Hopefully it is Lou, because if it is me that does it by myself, there'll be a hell of a lot of stuff that gets missed. But
I'll dial in.
Yes. Yeah, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please like and subscribe and all that stuff. Lou's link will be in my description down below, and vice versa. If you want to go check his POV out on his channel, go support him. It'd be greatly appreciated. And we shall probably see you at some point in the upcoming week. Anything to add?
See you next time.
Peace.
May the Force be with you.
God, that was cringe.